Hey guys, this is Catherine Ajajo coming with another JavaScript video. Today, this video is going to be on objects. And you might be saying, what are objects? Well, hold on, I will tell you. So, objects in JavaScript. What are objects, right? Well, I like to think about it as a way to group related data and functions together. Let's use a car example. What makes a car unique? Think about it. The make of the car, the year of the car, and the model of the car is what makes a car unique. And of course, color and etc. Um, so right there, we know that those are a group of things that can separate a car from another car, right? Also, we know that all cars start, right? Or have a function where it allows a car to start, or it allows a car to stop, or it allows a car to reverse, right? Um, so so this is how we're gonna group all of these different things together. We're gonna use an object to do it. So let's get over into our console area. Um, you can learn how to get to this area in one of my first videos. So go back in and watch that first video in order to know how to get to this one. Um, so let's go in here and we're going to start creating an object. So the way that we start, I told you about the keyword var, right? So we're going to write var, we're going to type var. And let's just say, let's call it John car. Or just say car. Let's just say car, right? Car. Car equal, we're going to put an equal sign and then curly braces. So that's how we start an object. And then shift enter to go inside of there because we're typing in the console. So now the body of the object, the way to create the body of the object, there's properties. So just like how we said make and the year and the model, right? So let's start off with make. So make would be a property. And then after we write the property, we're going to put a colon. And then after the colon, we're going to put the value of that property, which would be, let's say Kia. So Kia is a string, so that's why I have it in quotes. And then to add another property, we put a comma. So a comma and then shift enter because we're in the browser console, coding in. And then the year, right? Colon again, oops, colon again. And the year's a number, so we don't need any quotations. So 017, comma, and then the model, right? And the model is a string, so we're just going to say Sorrento, right? And I just want to add one more thing to this. There is a way to put a function inside of an object. So the last time we spoke about functions and arrays, well, you can actually put functions inside of objects as well. And arrays, but let's just deal with the function. So let's go to the next line and we're going to just add a start function. It's called a method. So this would be a method. So the last three was properties, and this one would be a method. And it's written the same way. We're just going to put colon, and instead of, the value, well, the value is going to be a function, right? We're going to tell the car to start. So function. And just for demonstration purposes, we're not going to make it any more complex than it needs to be. Let's just format this real quick, right? And then inside of there, we're just going to write console.log. We're just going to say car has started. Close our parentheses, right? So we just added a method and three properties to our object. And probably the next question would be, so how do we access this information, right? Well, the way that we access this information is by the the object name, which is car, right? Sorry about that. So the object name is car, and then the period, followed by the property name, which is make. One of them is make. And there we go, we have Kia. And let's try it for the other three. So year, 2017, that's correct. Car and model is Sorrento, that's correct. Now, to access the method the start method, we would have to write car is similar, dot start, and then parentheses to actually run the function. So when we call it, we run it at the same time. Press enter. It says car has started, right? So that's how we access our object. That's how we create our object. There is another way to access our object. So let's clear it out so that we have, just what we want on the screen. Just press the up button to get back our object, press enter, just that we're seeing it. Another way to access our object is car. So the name of the object, the properties in our object is the name of the object, and then in square brackets, right? So the name of the object, and then square brackets, quotation marks, and then the name of the property. So that's how we can also get the information from the properties within the object. And let's just do it for the other two. Oh, I just did the same thing. Sorry. The year. I was trying to do it the fast way. And then the model. Oh, Catherine got it. All right. So we accessed it. Now we cannot do it that way for the method, and that's why I stopped there. So now you see these two ways of creating and accessing, two ways of accessing things in an object. All right, guys, so another way to create an object is through a constructor. So we call it object constructor functions. All right. So the way we do it is we'll write function. I keep spelling function wrong. Function. The name of the object. So we'll say car, and then we'll pass in the values as parameters. The value. We'll create some variables actually, which will represent the values for these properties, right? And or methods. So first one we said was make, and then year, then model, and then the last one was the start method, right? So those are our parameters, and then we're going to do the curly brace, and within the function definition, I'm going to introduce a new keyword, this. So the keyword this in JavaScript is basically saying this car object, right? So it's basically saying whatever follows this is related to the actual name of the object, which is car. All right. So this car, this blah blah blah. We're saying this car because that's the object that we're creating now. All right. So this dot the property name. So let's say make name. We'll call it make name, and then we'll assign it using the equal sign to the make parameter or whatever value is passed in to the make parameter will go here, right? All right, and we'll do the same for the year. So year number. I could just use the same names But just for understanding purposes, I want you to see it, the difference. Right? That model name, and we'll just say model. And then the last one, which is, we want that to represent our start method. We'll say this dot start, and then equal sign. And this time we'll just write that value, right? So you're probably wondering, okay, so when do we write the function, right? For the start method. Well, it's coming up. So first we create how we want the object to look like, or what are the different properties and so forth we want it to have. I'm going to press enter. And to actually use this now, let's create a car. Okay, so let's create a blue car. So we'll say var blue car, right? And the equal sign, and then the new keyword. Now the new keyword is just basically saying, hey, I want to create a new car, right? I want to create a new car object. So that's what that is. Then the name of the object, constructor, and then inside of parentheses, right, we're going to put the values for these properties and methods that we just created. So so since we're doing this like the last time, let's just keep the same stuff. So Kia, then the year 2016, the model was Sorento, and then our method, our start method, so we'll just pass in the actual function here. So that's where your function goes in for that method. So function, and we don't have any parameters for it. And then the curly braces for our function. Then within those curly braces, this is me creating a function on one line. Console dot log, oops, spelled console wrong, dot log, and then in parentheses, quotes, we're gonna say car has started. Right? Alright. Now we'll press enter. Oh, look at that. I made an error. That is the parentheses for our function we just created, but then we need to come outside of our function and close the parentheses for our new object. Press enter. Okay, there it is. Now, the same way that we accessed our object last time is the same way we could do it now. So let's just say blue car dot, right, and the property name, which is make name, and it will give us those answers. And let's just try it for all of them. Let's just try it for all of them. Right, that worked. And then blue car again. And model name, Sorento, yes, that worked. And let's just call our method now, blue car, and our method. We have a typo. It's not a function. Oh, look at that. I didn't call it start method. I called it start. So that's the problem. Start. And let's just put the parentheses, and there you are. Car has started. So we were able to access all of our properties and their values the same way we did it last time, but we first created a constructor, an object constructor first, function. And then, so if I wanted to create a yellow car, I can. And if you're hearing any scraps, scratches right now as I'm speaking. That's my dog scratching on the door of my office. So yeah, so let's go over it real quick. We use function, and then the object name, and then we pass the values in as parameters, right? The values for our properties that we're going to use on our object. So this is a property name, this is a property name, this is a property name, and this is a method. Okay, that's a method. And these are the values which we passed in. The values. So these variables are the representation of the values that we passed in. And then the this is saying, hey, this car dot make equals this, equals Kia or Honda. So that's what that's saying. And then we came down here and we created a new car so we can use these properties inside of the car object. We created a new car right here. We said var, the name of our new object. And then we said equal new, meaning create a new object of instance of the car object with these values, right? With these values. So these are the values that we passed in. And then we were able to access those values by the same way we did it the last time. All right? So let's recap. So we went over creating an object. Object literal, we first said var, and then the name of the object, the equal sign, and the curly braces. The curly braces, and then this is a property name, and then the property name is followed by the colon, and then the property value. That if we want to add more properties, we add a comma. We also said that it is quite possible to put a function inside of an object and access it. And instead of start being called a property, we call start a method. So this would be a method because it's something that the object does. It's a function, right? And then we come over here and we talked about object constructor function. So we create a function that is basically a representation of the properties and methods of the object. So the function car, so it is an object. We passed in parameters to these property names. So we said, okay, anything we pass in as values, it will be we'll use the variables make, year, model, and start, right? So this is saying this car is referencing to this object that we just created. So this that make name is the property, which is then assigned the value of make. So whatever we pass in for make will go here, right? So all of these are property names, and then all of these are the values that we are assigning the property names. And in the example, we noticed that we were able to pass a function as a parameter, right? And then we then assign the start method that parameter. Okay, and it seems like I spelled method here wrong. Typo. But you guys know what I mean. It's method. Let's talk about, so the access properties, we said access and properties. We said object name dot the property name, or object name and then the square brackets, the quotation marks, and then the property name right in the middle. Another way to access object methods is object name dot the method name with parentheses so that it can run that function all at once. Or you can assign the same way to a variable and then call that variable or use that variable wherever. And anytime that variable is used, it will run that method or call that method, which would run that function, however way you want to say it. All right, guys, if you like this video and you have any questions or you would like to know more about something, please don't forget to like this video, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I will be posting new tutorials every Saturday morning. And this is Catherine Najaho, and see you later.